Welcome to this cozy little space where we share our love and passion for our beloved orchids. Today, I would like to introduce to you an extremely simple but highly effective method for propagating orchids at home, that is cuttings. Step by step, I will guide you in detail so that you can create healthy shoots yourself. And in that process, you will feel the attachment, joy, and patience, the things that make up the beauty of a true orchid grower. Let's start the journey of cuttings with me so that each green shoot today will bloom into a beautiful flower in your garden. The most suitable time to propagate orchids is when the flowers have begun to fade. Because after the flowers fade, the orchid stops focusing nutrients on growing flowers, but begins to accumulate energy to prepare for a new stage of development. At this time, the stem and roots of the plant are in the most stable state, rich in nutrients, helping dormant buds or branches after cutting to easily sprout and root much stronger than at other times. Now, we will proceed to cut off the dead flower stalks. This not only helps the plant save precious nutrients, but also helps the plant focus on nourishing the stem, roots, and new flower buds for the next blooming season. Next, we will observe carefully on the flower stem that has just been cut. If you pay attention, along the stem there will be small dormant buds. That is where there is the ability to sprout new buds or grow keiki. The sections with dormant buds that are still green and still have vitality, we keep for propagation. On the contrary, the sections that are dry, withered, or do not have clear dormant buds, we should cut them off to avoid the plant having to share nutrients with the weak parts. At the base of the flower stem with dormant eyes, we will use a very sharp knife to make a light diagonal cut, helping to increase the contact area of the branch surface with the substrate and nutrient solution later, thereby helping the branch absorb water and nutrients better. The thin outer membrane of the dormant buds, we also gently peel it off. When we remove that membrane, the dormant buds will have more direct contact with air and nutrient solution, thereby absorbing better and easily sprouting new buds. After treating the dormant buds, the next step is to disinfect the orchid stem. Here, I will light a small candle. Using the melted wax to drip directly onto the orchid stem and the cuts on the mother plant. The candle wax will form a protective layer, helping to prevent bacteria and fungi from entering the wounds, while keeping the orchid stem dry and safe before proceeding with cuttings. The first ingredient I use is garlic. I will take a fresh clove of garlic and peel off the outer skin, keeping only the garlic clove inside. Garlic is not only a safe natural ingredient, but also helps to fight bacteria, prevent mold on orchid cuttings after cutting, support to increase survival rate, and healthy rooting. Next, I will lightly crush the garlic clove to release the essential oil inside. Garlic essential oil has antibacterial properties and prevents mold, which is very good for newly cut orchid branches. Then, I will apply garlic essential oil evenly on the dormant buds and the parts around the orchid stem. This helps protect the young buds, while creating a safe environment for the dormant buds to absorb nutrients better and sprout healthily. Next, we will cut the garlic cloves into thin slices. Slicing them thinly, like this, helps the essential oil in the garlic to be released more evenly. When used, it will quickly penetrate the surface of the orchid stem, maximizing the antibacterial effect and stimulating root growth. The next ingredient I use is banana. I will peel the banana. It may seem like a waste, but banana peels contain a lot of valuable nutrients for orchids. Then I will cut the banana peel into small pieces, which makes it easier to process and extract more nutrients during the brewing process. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to click the like and subscribe buttons to support me, and don't miss any useful orchid care tips. I'm happy to accompany you on the journey of nurturing and conquering the beauty of orchid pots. After chopping the banana peel and garlic, I put them all in a clean jar. Next, I add about 500 milliliters of clean water to the jar to help the solution ferment slightly. Then stir well so that the nutrients in the garlic and banana peel dissolve faster into the water. After stirring, I close the jar tightly and let it sit for about 30 minutes before using. After 30 minutes, the natural active ingredients in garlic and banana peels have been completely extracted, forming a natural nutrient solution rich in minerals and antibacterials. Next, we will filter out the residue with a sieve or clean towel, keeping only the clear water. The resulting solution is a natural, safe, and extremely effective organic fertilizer for orchids. Then, I will pour part of the solution into a clean cup. Then place the entire orchid stem with dormant buds in it, so that the dormant buds are submerged in the solution. We will soak for about 30 minutes, so that the orchid stem fully absorbs the nutrients and antibacterial active ingredients, helping to stimulate young roots to form faster and dormant buds to wake up early. After soaking for 30 minutes, gently lift the flower stem out of the solution. Next, place the flower stem in a cool, dry place to drain completely before cutting. This will help the cut to shrink naturally, limit fungus, and help the orchid stem adapt more easily during the cutting process. The tool I use to propagate orchid stems is a piece of floral foam. This type of foam has the advantage of retaining moisture well, being airy, helping the orchid stem not to be waterlogged but still providing enough moisture for the dormant buds to sprout and root. I will cut this foam into a suitable shape, like I am instructing in the video, to fix the orchid stem most firmly and stably. What country are you watching this video from? Let me know in the comments below. It's great to be able to connect and share our passion for orchids from all over the world. Once completed, we will have a complete cutting tool. As for watering, I use filtered water to ensure absolute safety for the orchid stem. When adding water, we only need a moderate amount, so that the water level is about half of the foam piece. This amount of water will help keep the orchid stem moist, but still ensure the upper part is airy, not waterlogged or rotten. In this step, I will use a small iron rod and a clamp to fix the orchid stem during the cutting process. Fixing it firmly like this helps the orchid stem to always be stable on the foam surface, creating favorable conditions for the young roots to grow evenly and stronger. Next, I will use medical cotton to evenly insert around the orchid stem cutting environment. This layer of cotton not only has the effect of keeping the orchid stem moist throughout the cutting process, but also protects the roots and young shoots when they begin to pop out, avoiding impact or damage due to external influences. Next, I will use a plastic cup with air holes to cover the orchid stem, to protect the orchid stem from insect attacks, and to help maintain stable humidity around the cutting area. During this stage, we place the cutting in a cool, light place and not exposed to direct sunlight. Such conditions will help the dormant buds develop gradually, preparing to sprout and form new roots in the most natural way. I will use the remaining nutrient solution to take care of the mother orchid. I use a soft cotton pad soaked in the nutrient solution. Then, gently wipe it evenly on both sides of the orchid leaves. Garlic essential oil has antibacterial, antifungal, and insect-repelling properties on the leaf surface, especially effective against aphids, molds, and bacteria that cause leaf rot. Banana peels are rich in potassium, calcium, and a small amount of phosphorus, which helps increase the thickness and gloss of the leaves, while stimulating metabolism and chlorophyll synthesis. When wiped evenly on both sides of the leaves, the plant will directly absorb nutrients through the leaf epidermis, helping to increase natural resistance and reduce yellowing or burning of the leaf edges. In addition, wiping also helps clean dust and salt accumulated due to irrigation water, making the leaves more airy, photosynthesizing better, thereby increasing growth rate and the ability to root and flower. Another way is to water directly into the roots and substrate. Garlic essential oil acts as a biological antibiotic, helping to kill bacteria, harmful fungi, and small insects in the substrate, while also preventing root rot very effectively. Minerals in banana peel such as potassium, calcium, and manganese help the roots grow stronger, whiter, and fatter, while stimulating the formation of small roots and shoots. Then we put the tree back in its ideal environment in the garden so that it can continue to grow. After about 6 weeks, I will gently lift the orchid stem to check the growth of the dormant buds.
Wow!
You see, the previously dormant buds have now sprung up strongly, sprouting into a green, healthy, and smooth young plant. Along with that are the plump, round white roots growing out around the stem, a clear sign that the cutting process has been successful. This proves that, with natural methods and patience, we can completely propagate orchids at home effectively, both safely and economically. Next, I will cut off the excess flower stem, keeping only the part with the young plant and healthy roots. Before planting in the new substrate, I use a little cinnamon powder to sprinkle lightly on the cuts. Cinnamon powder is a natural ingredient that has antibacterial and antifungal properties and helps the wound dry quickly, thereby minimizing the risk of root rot or fungal infection in the early stages. For the pot, I use one with lots of drainage and ventilation holes. These holes allow for better air circulation, keeping the roots well ventilated and preventing fungal diseases from developing. Next, I will put pine bark as a growing medium in the pot. Pine bark is a very popular growing medium for orchids because it maintains moderate moisture but still ensures high air permeability, helping orchid roots to breathe and grow well. In addition, pine bark also has natural antibacterial properties, helping to limit mold and root rot. Before planting the tree, I will spread a thin layer of moss first. This layer of moss has the effect of keeping the young root area moist and creating softness, helping the new roots when growing not to be damaged by collision with the pine bark. Finally, I will add a thin layer of moss to the surface of the pot. This moss will help keep the substrate moist, while also protecting the young roots from direct sunlight and rapid evaporation. Here, I have prepared natural fertilizer from garlic and banana peels to water the orchid. With this nutrient solution, you use it about once every 2 weeks and should do it in the early morning or late afternoon. This is the time when the plant absorbs nutrients best, while avoiding harsh sunlight that can evaporate or reduce the effectiveness of the solution. On normal days, we only need to spray the plant with clean water about once every 2 days. Regular misting helps maintain stable humidity around the leaves and roots, creating conditions for the seedlings to grow naturally, without drying out or being shocked by heat. Maintained regularly in this way, you will see thicker and shinier leaves, strong root growth, and healthy, lush shoots all year round. Take care of your orchids with all the love and dedication you have for them. As you patiently observe, water, fertilize, and take care of every little detail, you will see your garden gradually come to life, healthy, vibrant pots of orchids blooming brightly. Let your orchid garden become an endless source of inspiration, where each flower tells a story of patience, creativity, and the joy of growing. Thank you for following and accompanying me on my orchid care journey. Wishing you happiness, energy, and passion for your garden. See you in the next videos, where we will discover more secrets to help orchids grow healthily and bloom beautifully.